It finally happened after years waiting for it. I got legs in VR. Hey, Ty here, so welcome to the VR Tech channel. V57 just arrived on the PTC, the public test channel, so we got the opportunity to check it out quite early. There's some very interesting stuff in this update and also video for the Meta Quest 3 in the firmware already. So well, let's discover it together in this video. Let's get into it. But first of all, this video is sponsored by Binbok and their new excellent strap. Yeah, it's kind of the actual name. I tried many straps for the Meta Quest 2, probably all of them, and for some reason I always land on the more original Elite strap style ones. They just look better, and this takes a native style and makes it better in any conceivable way. The arms now can flip for a better in and out experience, making it easier to wear and adjust and to take less space in the bag. Top strap is also extra puffy to make it comfier on top, and of course the star of the show are the two magnetic 8000 mAh batteries. They can add 3 to 4 hours of playtime each. And as you can see, they snap on the back super easily, and they're strong enough to stay even in the most active sessions. With the second perk of helping to balance the Quest 2 for increased comfort. They come with an easy to drop in integrated charger and of course with some cool blue lights in the back and the battery status on top. You can check it out on Amazon and Binbok.com for $89 and in there you're gonna find also many accessories for consoles and of course our VR headsets. So thanks to Binbok for sponsoring this video, and yeah, this is a good one. Alright, let's start right away with legs. This was teased many years ago from Mark Zuckerberg directly, but that turns out to be just a CGI trailer using mocap suits. So yeah, there was no real work behind it. But today we got legs in VR. So from V57, if you go in front of the mirror in your home environment, you're gonna be able to see your legs. Finally, you're not just gonna be a torso like floating around. By the way, I took the opportunity to get some sneakers because of course I needed my white Converse. And yeah, that's it. Happy? There's still some limitations though, like the legs are just visible in the mirror right now and not in first person. So when you look down, you're still just a floating torso. There's no crouching, so the legs actually don't bend at all. They follow you around in an awkward way that doesn't seem to be anything different from all the other VR games available on the market right now. But yeah, you're just standing the entire time. So hopefully we're gonna be able to move like regular people soon. By the way, the legs right now are just available on the home environment. They're not available on Horizon Worlds, but hopefully they're gonna arrive soon because as we saw also from the mobile app that was just released in beta for phones, there you can have your legs. So it's kind of awkward that in VR instead you're just gonna be a floating torso still. Anyway, now that we have legs, we can actually move around freely in the environment. Well, pretty much. Some environments let you move more than others. For example, the space station is almost entirely explorable. We still have to teleport around, there's no full locomotion, but now we can go everywhere, sit at a table, or sit on the couch and watch a movie in front of a galaxy. And that's a very nice addition, so they're completely gone those pre-decided spots. As we said though, in some environments your freedom is kind of limited, but hey, baby steps. There's also big changes on the UX and UI because the direct touch is now the default way to actually interact in your menus. So that means that the dashboard now will be closer to you and you'll be able to touch and interact like it was a big tablet. Also, the interactivity got so much better in V57. I couldn't understand why, and then I went to settings and I checked for the updates and I was actually on the new firmware because yeah, it's actually perceivable. Everything feels snappy, responsive with your hands and also with the controllers. So a very good update there. If you want to go back to the panel view in the quick settings, you're gonna have the switch view option, and yeah, everything will go further away once again. By the way, the cool thing is that direct touch is still available also in that way. About the UI, I don't know why, but the icons are a bit smaller right now. A really minor change, but something that I noticed. And the very cool thing is that now you can actually see the dashboard from behind. Before it was just disappearing, now instead you're gonna see the outline of the dashboard. So if you go past that while you're working around in your actual real environment, you're gonna be able to know where you left your dash, go back there and use it. And for sure it gives a better sense of spatial computing when you can actually place things around. Another big part of the update is actually the controller's tracking and responsiveness. Of course, when you're gonna update to V57, it's gonna also update the controllers. What I noticed in the Quest Pro controllers that they snap in the correct place much faster than before. Sometimes it was taking 30 seconds or something. Instead now in like 2-3 seconds they get in the right position, probably using the hand tracking to actually help. Also, because we're talking about hands, the switch between hand tracking and controller's tracking got much faster. It's actually almost instantaneous. Right now, in the past updates, it was very finicky and gimmicky. Sometimes it wouldn't work at all. In fact, I actually disabled completely the possibility to switch by itself because hand tracking for me wasn't working when my controller's laying around. Instead, right now, it's pretty much perfect, I'll say. We had some dark times in the latest updates when it comes to interactivity with the menus, and right now it seems we're getting much better again, finally. But now let's talk about hidden firmware stuff. These were found by Nia VR, and these are actually features that they're gonna be implemented, but they're not active yet in the settings. Are very interesting indeed. For example, we finally are gonna have a way to actually hide the mirror in the home environment, so you don't actually have to see your avatar there all the time. And this feature took way too long to even be considered. Then airplane mode is gonna be added. It says enable airplane travel mode to interact, work and play in VR while in motion in airplanes. Enjoy the full VR experience while comfortably travel. It's not clear if it is gonna be 3D OF or 6D OF, but it seems like they're adapting the experience to be used on planes. For some reason it created a lot of buzz during the presentation of the Apple Vision Pro, and so yeah, they're just enabling so you can use it without any problem. I actually used VR many times on the plane and it's completely fine, so I think it's just a marketing move to show, yeah, we can do it as well, I guess. But now this is interesting because there's gonna be a new settings for low power mode. It says extend your headset battery life by lowering the overall graphical fidelity. So it seems like we're gonna be able to downclock our Quest 2, Quest Pro or Quest 3 to, you know, maybe go back to a lower resolution to be able to extend our play sessions while using batteries. This might be a very good news for the Quest 3 because the chipset in there is gonna be much more powerful than the one that we have on the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro. So of course it's gonna require more juice to actually run. So maybe with these settings, they're gonna be able to tame down the chipset a bit and have a much longer battery life, having the same graphical fidelity of what we had on the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro. And that's an absolutely fantastic idea, I think. But now the last part, a kind of a leak for the Quest 3. This was found by Samulia in the firmware, and that's the official video for the room mapping visualization of the Meta Quest 3. This shows how the Quest 3 is going to use the depth sensor in the middle to actually map the environment and recognize some objects like the sofa, for example, and have it blended directly in your virtual experience without having to create all the outlines like we're doing on the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro right now. It's gonna be all automatic. Also, this is gonna be in real time, so it's not gonna need any input from you. And as you can see, it's gonna be able to recognize better the shapes of the objects like the sofa, pillows, wardrobes, tables, stuff like that. And when talking about mixed reality, the holograms will be able to interact with them directly because they're gonna have the physicality, enabling the possibility to have occlusion to make it feel more believable. This is something that is now missing in our mixed reality experiences. But yeah, here we have it. This was our first look at V57 for the Meta Quest 2 and the Meta Quest Pro, and also probably for the Meta Quest 3 because we start to have things for that headset directly in the firmware. So yeah, we're getting very close. There were some leaks about the possible release date for October 10th, and that's very believable because Connect is going to be at the end of September, so that's usually what happens. Quest 2 launched October 13, so it seems like a possible date for sure. Also, by the way, this was the PTC, so the public test channel. Just bear in mind that that's a beta, so it might have problems. For example, in the past, some PTC broke completely the link capabilities. So yeah, just be aware of it. If you want a stable experience, don't jump in there yet. Legs will arrive. Don't worry. Hey, what do you think about it? Are you happy that you finally have legs? Do you want to see them also in first person? Because for sure, I would like to see them that way as well, not just in reflections. And also, hopefully, they're gonna enable them in all the apps that actually use the Meta avatars right now to feel a bit more immersive. Crouching though is something that needs to happen soon. Hopefully it's just a little bug in this beta thing. But hey, anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And as always, if you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel for more about VR tech. If you love the channel, there's a join button there. To further also the Patreon. Thanks to all the Patreons who join the channel, of course. I see you guys next video. That is gonna be about Gamescom. It was supposed to be released today, but this news broke, so we got it. I see you guys soon.